Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk to everyone about writing a well-developed paragraph. You'll see this in your directions often. It'll say something about a topic and then ask you to write one or two well-developed paragraphs. And some of you might wonder, what exactly does that mean? So I want to talk about that because this is what I'm looking for when it comes to your essay answers or just a paragraph answer. So your Unit 2 or the exams that have the paragraphs that you have to write, this will be what I'm looking for, as well as any submissions that ask for paragraphs. So what is a well-developed paragraph? They are normally more than 4 sentences. I call them, they're beefy, they're big, bulky paragraphs, normally. They don't always have to be because it will depend on your topic and how much information you have there. So in general though, they're more than 4 sentences. They should be in academic writing. That means you should have a formal way of speaking or writing. So not like to a friend, no, okay, so, or I'm going to tell you, or hi, how are you? None of that kind of thing. I'm looking for academic writing. And it includes these 3 things, which I'll talk about in detail. A topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. So those are your main things that you want to have. So first is your topic sentence. This is the first sentence of your paragraph, and it has 2 parts normally. It has the subject for sure. That will always be there. That's your main idea of your paragraph. And sometimes it'll include some kind of controlling idea. This is what you're going to say about the subject. It doesn't need to be included. It is helpful if it is, especially if you need help focusing on that paragraph and what you're going to write about. But it's not necessary, and I'll show you some examples. So I color-coded this. The subject is red. Controlling idea is blue. Year-round school is a great idea. This is a topic sentence that has the main idea only, which is fine. That's all you need. You need to at least have that. However, it can be helpful to include a little bit more, so that's where your controlling idea is. Year-round school has a variety of benefits. That includes the main idea and an idea about your details. So I know that you're going to talk about benefits of year-round school. Year-round school has a variety of benefits for students, parents, and teachers. So this one is very specific. You don't have to be this specific. Like I said, just doing this first one is perfectly fine. But it can help, and it lets readers know I'm going to talk about benefits for students, parents, and teachers in my paragraph. That also means it's probably going to be a big paragraph, but that's okay. Like I said, these are beefy or bigger, bulkier sentences or paragraphs. So now that you've got your main idea, you move on to supporting sentences. These are your details. So looking at this last one here, we're going to look at how to create supporting sentences. So these give the details from the main idea. It discusses them, it shows the relationship between the detail and the rest of the paragraph. So for example, I'm still using that topic sentence I mentioned. Year-round school has a variety of benefits for students, parents, and teachers. A supporting sentence. You'll notice there's more than just one here. There's going to be several here. This will be the meat of your paragraph, is your supporting sentences. Studies show that students lose about a month to 2 months of math and reading skills during summer vacation. That means every fall when students return to class, they are now further behind than they were in the spring. So I'm talking about the variety of benefits for students first, and you can see that's 2 sentences. It doesn't have to be 2 sentences. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 1. It really depends on what it is you're discussing. I didn't want to get too in-depth here because it is just a paragraph, so I'm only touching on it a little bit. And then my next one, I'm going to obviously talk about parents because it's next in the list. Parents don't have the luxury of being able to take off the entire summer to be with and watch their children. Having year-round school allows parents to not have to worry or pay for care for their children during the summer. So I'm talking about the variety of benefits for parents. The last one would be teachers. Teachers get the benefit of having more time to fit more information into their curriculum, as well as being able to earn more money in one job instead of taking on an additional summer job. So that's a lot, I realize, of supporting sentences. But I'm giving my details. I'm explaining it in detail for benefits for students, parents, and teachers. After that, you end it with a concluding sentence. So this is the last sentence in the paragraph. It names the main idea again and summarizes the details. So it is different than the topic sentence because it should be reworded as finishing the paragraph, and I'll show you what I mean. And it can have 2 parts. It summarizes the main idea of the paragraph, and it makes the reader think more about the topic. And how you do that will be up to you. So here's some examples. The summary is in red, and a bit more about the topic is in blue. So those are your two parts. And again, a bit more about the topic could be making the reader think about the topic. You could tie the details together, or you can name the specifics covered again. So in conclusion, that's how I know it's the end, by the way, year-round school has many benefits and is something schools across the country should consider. Here's my summary: year-round school has many benefits, and my bit more about the topic is something schools across the country should consider. And another example where it's just the summary: in other words, having year-round school has benefits for everyone involved. Perfectly fine. You don't have to include a bit more about the topic. Or I could also give the specifics covered. So in summary, year-round school gives students more knowledge retention, allows parents to not worry about childcare during the summer, and lets teachers have more time to complete a well-rounded curriculum. So you can see that's a little bit more, it's longer, it's beefier, but it's a very good sentence. So putting that together, it looks like this. Year-round school has a variety of benefits. Studies have shown that students lose about a month to 2 months of math and reading skills during summer vacation. That means every fall when students return to class, they are now further behind than they were in the spring. Parents don't have the luxury of being able to take off the entire summer to be with and watch their children. Having year-round school allows parents to not have to worry or pay for care for their children during the summer. Teachers get the benefit of having more time to fit more information into the curriculum, as well as being able to earn more money in one job instead of taking on an additional summer job. In other words, having year-round school has benefits for everyone involved. Now, did that sound good? Or was it choppy? Choppy meaning that there wasn't really connections between those ideas. So you need transitions. Transitions show connections between the main idea, the supporting sentences, and the conclusion. These words introduce the new detail and show how everything's connected. Without this, the paragraph's just a bunch of sentences put next to each other, so I'm not seeing the connection between them, and it's not considered a well-developed paragraph. You can Google transition words, and you'll come up with a huge list, and this is just some of them. First, next, then, at last, now, again, in addition, thereafter, as a result, nevertheless, nonetheless. Do note that these are actually one word. Furthermore, as well. So those are words you can use to transition from one topic or one point of detail to another point, and I'll show you how that looks. So, year-round school has a variety of benefits in the first place, so I'm connecting it with that last sentence. Studies show blah, 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 blah. And then when I'm going to go into parents, another benefit is for parents, and then I discuss parents. And then in addition, and then I go into teachers, and then in other words. So these things connect it all. It ties it all together into a neat little box called a well-developed paragraph. So in review, a well-developed paragraph will have a topic sentence, supporting sentences, transitions, a conclusion sentence, and academic writing. All of these things put together will give you a well-developed paragraph. So again, topic sentence, the main idea or the main topic and maybe a controlling idea. Your detail sentences give support for the main idea, gives details, proof, anecdotes, which are stories, etc. These words, transition words, help connect each idea to each other and the paragraph as a whole. Your conclusion sentences will summarize the main idea, and it can go over details or give the reader something to think about. And academic writing is always asked for, so check for spelling, capitalization, punctuation, you have spaces between a period and the next sentence, etc., etc. These are the parts that make up a well-developed paragraph. If you have any questions about this, feel free to give me an email, and I will gladly clarify anything that wasn't very clear. Thanks, everybody.